And we're back. This is Fast Track, and we're looking at the roadmap. Step 4, research. Now, in the previous step, we looked at what happens when we go into the meeting. And indeed, at that meeting, we went through the little sub-steps that I took you through. But at the end, we made the appointment for the audit. And as I mentioned then, you want to make that for at least 4 or 5 days hence. Now, prior to going in for the audit, it's a good idea to do some investigation. So 2 parts to this, investigation and the meeting itself. So the investigation, really what you're going to be looking at is other material that you can gather from searching around. So for instance, go look at their website. Now, that is if they've got one. And I mentioned in an earlier video, there's still a fairly incredible proportion of businesses that don't have websites. And as for the rest of them, many, if not most of them, fall under the what I call crap category. Now, forgive the use of the language there, but most websites fall into that category because they're just not very good. What is the point of a website? Very briefly, you could say that a website is a window on their world. It's a look at who and what the company is. And for many, that's all it is. It just acts as kind of credentials. We have a website, and here's who we are. I'm not sure really whether that serves a tremendous function, particularly in view of what we said about advertising, institutional image style advertising, and then advertising that is direct marketing. And there is no reason why a website shouldn't do both. If people want to, if you like, build their brand, well, nowhere does it say you can't make sales at the same time. So have a look at the website. It'll give you a lot of background information, hopefully. If nothing else, there isn't much information on there about them. The website itself, when you're looking at it, you might use the critical eye of does it fall into the crap category? And really, a website that is good is one that generates leads for them. It has some sort of response mechanism on there. It is giving something away, perhaps a special report or a book or a voucher or something that tempts people to leave their name and details on there. So have a look for that. Perhaps a video is on there as well. That's really good because that scores high and gets lots of Google love. Make note of the information on there because this is all valuable stuff for you. Remember, you are in the research phase now. You want to find out as much as you can. If you can, get hold of their marketing and sales materials prior to the meeting so that you can have a good look through them. Again, you're gonna be able to judge from that, are they selling features rather than benefits? In fact, are they selling anything at all? Is it just another window on their world, so to speak, that just talks about them? We have to remember in everything that we do, we have to market the emotional, market the benefits rather than the logic or the features. And so you have to look at the materials and everything that they do from that angle. The other thing that you should do is get a bit of local knowledge. Do you know this company personally? Do you know anybody that does? Talk to them about their experiences with it. And if it's nearby, you might want to do a little bit of secret shopping. It's always great to lay something on people that they didn't know in a meeting, such as you came into their place of business and you found this, this, and this. It's something that Carl Allen did, if you recall, from the free video series when he walked around the Porsche dealership and found all sorts of things that really didn't go down too well and pointed them out. But obviously in pointing them out, you want to do it in a positive way to say, not to put people down, but to say, they could do better in this, this, and this. Finally, look at competitor information. Look at what those competitors are doing out there, how they're marketing themselves, what sort of market penetration they have, what activities are they up to in the community, if any, what activities are they doing with their advertising, their websites, etc. Get a good background on not just the company that you are going to see and their competitors, but the market as well, and the requirement, the need, and how big their market really is. Okay, the second part of research is the CBA meeting, the confidential business audit. Now, we're going to go along armed with a bit of investigative knowledge. We've found out a little bit about them, and that's good to drop some of this in a sensible way during the meeting to show that you've looked into them, that you've researched them. And it's comforting for them as well, and they recognize that that's professionalism. So the meeting really is going to last for a couple of hours. We've already made that clear to them. We've said to them, look, this is a locked door kind of meeting. We don't want to be disturbed. Phones off the hook, all of that kind of thing. In other words, you're telling them how it's going to be. You're in charge. Remember, they are looking for you to be in charge. This is part of positioning. They want you to take control of this desperate situation that they're in. So the confidential business audit is in your resources section. Now, again, if you haven't downloaded it, please do so now. Take a moment out and either look at it then on your screen as we're talking, or you can print it out. So just pause now and do that. Okay, I'm assuming that you've got it there. I mentioned before that the confidential business audit has several powerful facets to it. And the primary being that it's going to give you a deep look and insight into their world, into what they're doing, into the company, how it operates and functions, how it's managed. That'll come out in just talking to the business owner or the managing director, CEO, or whatever. It will also provide you with a lot of information that you hadn't otherwise gained about the company, and give you some indications to where you can go and what you can do. Because really, when you go through this, you'll see why they're going to state some of the issues that they have and how they feel that those issues can be solved. They'll also, you'll also uncover a lot more problems as well. And the more you get into this, the more they tell you, the more the trust is being developed. And that, as we've already said many times, is a very good thing. Another thing that it does is that it gives them a whole new perspective as well. And you'll see that as you're going through the meeting, that they're going to have some real tremendous wow moments where, as I mentioned before, they connect the dots with a question that you asked earlier with one you're asking now. And they kind of say things like, oh, I see why you're asking that. It's because of, and they'll refer back to something that you said earlier. Now, let's just take a moment to have a look at this document. We're not going to go through every question. It would take, probably about 45 minutes. There's just no need. But there's 16 pages in this altogether. And you'll see that when you open it up, it starts with general information about them and their business. And you're going to be asking this. You'll have the document in front of you, and you'll be writing down their responses. Again, consultative approach, very professional. So we're going to get basic information on there, such as their contact details, website, how do they feel that their business is doing right now, how did it go in the past. We're going to ask them a little bit later what they're looking to achieve, what do they believe is responsible for the current trend, what's their vision for the next 6 months, 12 months, 3 years, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to gather. There's then, from that general section, which goes on for probably about 8 pages or so, we're then going to ask them about telemarketing or direct mail, if it's applicable. Now, let me tell you, direct mail might sound a bit old hat, but people are still doing it, even if it's just letters to their clients or invoices going out. You know, this is stuff that is a vehicle for you to be able to market. Every invoice that goes out as just an invoice is a missed opportunity. Remember that. So ask them about those things as well. We want to ask them about direct sales too. They may have a direct sales force, which can also be read as company representatives, salespeople, whatever. And by the way, don't forget, if it's not specifically referenced, to put it in this direct sales information about what their people, if they have a shop or they have an office where people can come in, what are their people saying to customers? Again, opportunities are there. Trade show information, do they do them? Trade shows are tremendous for gathering lots of leads and gaining interest and appointments with people. Any other marketing information as well is covered, where we're going to look at relationships. And final section in there is the internet, where we're going to look at their website, traffic, emailing, and so on and so forth. Any other relevant information that you feel is necessary to your research, gather it there and then. Make a note of it. Before you go in there, you're going to have a whole load of questions that may not be asked in the confidential business audit document. So ask them then and there, and take in a notepad. I'm telling my mother how to suck eggs here, so please don't take this as patronizing. But you want to just go in there well armed, and get all the questions answered. Get everything that you need then to take away. Okay, so the business audit meeting, as I say, it's going to go on for about an hour and a half, and you're going to walk out of there illuminated. And the important thing is, so are they. Your standing, your rating just went way up. And already, they can see that you are someone that knows what they're doing, and they're very pleased about the fact that they've brought you in. It kind of dispels any buyer remorse that they may have had when you go through this, because there is absolutely no doubt that everybody we've ever done this with, and it's been thousands, always feel that it's great value afterwards. Okay, so there we are. Research, which composes of initial investigation and then the confidential business audit meeting itself. Next, we're on to number 5, and we're going to look at the all-important implementation. See you then.